think we go in around 5 or somewhere together today. It'll be up to
Okay. Oh yeah, definitely. Did you have any other any questions or?
No, I think with this indicator thing, you got me.
Yeah. Awesome.
When Trisha told me that, I said, "Yep, I trust him."
Yeah, not even just her, but Swissindo also, because it's the whole lot of them. So, but definitely. So, I know that for you it's gonna be tough. Like you know, obviously there's some. Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
You sound like you went underwater.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did put it on speakerphone now.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
It is so loud in this jail that people are talking and it echoes in here because it's all concrete metal. So any deviation from what we had, it makes it difficult for me to understand you.
Right. Okay. I'll try to speak clearly. If you can't hear, if you can't hear something that I say, just let me know and I'll repeat it.
Okay.
So I know that Trisha was telling me about what's going on with your apartment, and I did offer to her to if that's something that you wanted to expose the mistreat.
I heard you ask something about Trisha and then it went rah. I don't know what that was. But everything you said.
Yeah, it's my emails and all that. You know how on your phone, how you get like alerts.
Okay, I got you.
Yep. So, but
what did you say?
So Trisha had, you know, and I think you actually explained to me as well about what was going on with your apartment.
Oh yes.
So if that's something that you would also like me to bring up and expose, you know, the treatment that you're getting, how they're basically.
Sure, of course. I mean, why not? I mean, it's obvious that they're. I mean, the rent was paid. You know, why would you evict someone when their rent's paid other than just their, you know? It's obvious that something's being done crooked.
Right. Yeah, it's almost like they're attacking you in every different aspect that they can.
Well, it's like I've told Patricia, these phone calls, they're listening to them. So I know that one point I said I don't want to lose my apartment. Well, look what happened. So I know that they're attacking me any way they can with things, especially that they know that are, you know, special to me. And anytime I make a comment or something happens to it. So it's obvious that they're attacking me on that level.
Right. And I will say there's been some actually after the last conference call we had on Saturday, I guess it was two gentlemen that went out and they ended up purchasing cars, and they were approached by Secret Service. Yeah, and they were told to return the cars. So I'm wondering if you think that the gentlemen that you had your dealings with were really who they said they were, or if they were something different.
I can't understand the last part of your question, Mike.
Do you think that the gentlemen that you were dealing with were who they claimed to be, or do you? Because I mean, I did see some of the video there, and they didn't really seem like they're from the agency that they claim to be.
Well, let me explain something that was explained to me. These people are supposedly Blackwater hired. The Blackwater people. I don't know if they're legit or not because there's some things that just don't make sense. It doesn't add up.
Right. I thought the same thing when I saw how they were dressed.
Yes. I mean, why would you wear suits? You know, the other thing about the arrest is there was only one official officer there on duty that day from the Knox County Sheriff's Department. He brought a dog with him, And he didn't show up until after the first 4 cars were there, and they were all unmarked, but they claimed they were on a stakeout. But it was obvious that the dealership was trying to hold me hostage and not allow me to leave. And as a matter of fact, they had a guy come out there just kind of going over stupid stuff over the coach with me. You could tell he was killing time. He said, "Won't you walk back to the office with me, and we'll wait on such and such to get here before you leave?" I said, "No, I'll wait right here." Well, he comes back out there, and he said, "Well, come on and walk with me." You know, he didn't ask me. He said, "Come on and walk with me." So I walked with him to the office. When I walked in, all eyes in the office were on me, and I could feel there was something strange going on. And anyway, he said, "Just have a seat in that chair right there." I said, "Nope, I'm not going to sit in this office and wait for someone. I'm going back to my coach. When he shows up, have him to come to my coach." He said, "Okay." So when I walked out, that's when these cars pulled up and these people in these suits, and I thought these looked like officers. And so I walked on toward the coach. I sat down in the seat, closed the door. I was talking to Heather at the time. And when I done that, here they come and pulled up in front of the coach and started knocking on the door. And that's when Alex then proceeded to open the door and invite them in like they were coming for drinks or something.
Right.
And then they came up and grabbed me and you know, put me in very precarious positions and very embarrassing positions, pulling my pants down, and they left my pants down unzipped around my waist, my underwear showing, and they wrapped a band-aid. I mean, they literally beat the crap out of me. They threw me down on the ground, put their foot on my back, held my face down in the dirt, and continued to tell me to breathe. I said, "I can't breathe," you know, as best I could get my voice out, but you know, they were trying to get me to breathe dirt and grass and stuff in my mouth and nose by pushing my face in the ground. And anyway, when they finally stood me up and put handcuffs on me, I was covered in blood and dirt. And one guy proceeded to wrap this white bandage around my head so tight it was cutting off the circulation to my head. And I said, "I don't need that bandage." He said, "Yes, you do." And anyway, they ended up calling an ambulance to check me out. I told them to leave me alone.
And did they when they handcuffed you and all that, did they read you your rights at all? I know there's been some.
No, they never. No, they told me that I had they said I was being arrested for a warrant out of Jasper, Colorado. I said, "What kind of warrant?" He said, "You're a fugitive of Jasper, Colorado." And I said, "I've never been to Colorado. How can I be a fugitive?" He said, "Well, you are." And but it's funny that their indictment papers say that they arrested me for a warrant in Jasper, South Carolina, which is a lie. That's not what they told me. And all the records prove different too. So they're just lie after lie after lie in all their paperwork.
That's another thing I was actually going to ask you about. I don't know if you're comfortable with that being with that being released yet or not, but I know that.
Yeah, you might want to get with Patricia and talk to the group before you release any of this information, but it's all being recorded. I mean, I know they're listening to everything I say, every word.
Right.
So,
yeah, that was.
We gotta get the truth out there.
Exactly, and that was one of the things I'd already spoken with Tricia about, and she told me to talk to you regarding the on the paperwork, the fact that they claim they tried to say that you changed aspects of certain things.
Yeah. That I tried to what? Yeah. Why would I do that? First of all, that doesn't make any sense. Changing numbers that was a shock to me that was even brought up, but it proved more of the fact that they didn't have anything to go on.
Right. What that sounds like is that they basically, because now they kind of what they're doing is shooting themselves in the foot, because it shows that they're fearful of the fact that if you use the correct one, So I can go.
The correct information.
Right, and if you're okay with that, what I'll do, because I don't want to talk about anything that could, end up kind of messing you over. So if it's okay with you for me to release that to everybody, then I'll do that outside of the call.
Okay, yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. So let's see, where else? Is there anything else that you feel is very important for people to know about this situation besides the Blackwater and the stuff that we just spoke about?
Let me continue with the arrest part, because after they arrested me, or after they handcuffed me there at the coach, I stood there for the longest time just standing there, and it was like this. Now where I'm at is a very populated area. There were a lot of people standing around watching. I mean, it was a lot of activity going on that day, and they were making sure that I was being watched by everybody standing around. There were people in groups just standing around like it was a big, like a major thing was going down here. Anyway, they finally threw me in the back of a sheriff's car. Like I said, there was only one sheriff there. Out of all the officers, there was only one that I would consider a legitimate sheriff there, and he didn't know what was going on. He had no idea. And so they threw me in the back of this car, and this day that I was arrested, it was so hot. I mean, it was humid, and it had to be at least 120 degrees in the back of this car. There was no air conditioning, and they put me back there, and I was asking for water. And he said, "Yeah, I hear you. I'll see what I can do." And it was obvious that he was just appeasing me with an answer to a question that he wasn't going to fulfill the need for. But anyway, he just kept ignoring the fact that I needed some water. And I said, "It's hot in here. Is there anything you can do to cool it off?" "Well, we'll get going down the road after a while. We'll get some air back there." But anyway, when we ended up leaving, he met another officer, and they switched me off out of another car and put me into the back of another patrol car. And this guy did roll the windows down going down the highway. But anyway, we were headed up the interstate, and as we came up the interstate, I looked and I said, "That looks like my coach." And the guy said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "That's my coach." And it was surrounded by 4 cars with blue lights on, and they were doing at least 30 to 40 miles an hour max riding down the highway. And as we went by, I looked up, and these 2 officers driving the coach were mocking me, making fun of me, and I thought, that's something odd about that. A police officer would not do that to someone. But they were looking at me and laughing at me and poking their finger at me like, we got you. And I thought that very strange.
Yeah,
once they did get me to the sheriff's department or the jail, they held me in the car for another 2 to 3 hours, claiming they didn't have anything to arrest me for. They didn't have anything to hold me on because there was no warrant. And finally, the guy come out there. He said, "Listen, can you just write him up for something so we can put him in jail?" He said, "I'll write him."
You have 60 seconds.
"We'll be able to hold him on that." He said, "Yeah, we'll make that stick." But they had no reason to hold me in jail that night. None.
Okay, so they actually made up a fictitious reason to actually detain you.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And they did that. They held me fictitiously for several days until they found the warrant, a bench warrant in Jasper County, South Carolina, which was a failure to appear on something that was bogus in the first place. And we can talk more about that later. But it had already been through court. I'd already served 60 days sentence for it in jail down there, and all it was that they were going to dismiss me on time served. And but they were making a big deal out of it, like I was trying to evade the law. Your time has expired. This call may have been monitored or recorded.
Hey, Randy, it said something about the 60 seconds and then time expired.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you hear what I was talking about? South Carolina.
Yeah, you had said that you did time served for a warrant, and that was the fugitive warrant they were trying to say, but they were trying to make it that it was out of Jasper when it was out of South Carolina. Is that what I'm gathering?
Yes, it was out of Jasper County, South Carolina. Carolina, and the original warrant down there was that I had beaten and wounded an officer, which was never an incident that happened. It was also a bogus warrant. So, but that was also a time when they were trying to pin the sovereign citizen thing on me.
Yes, and actually, just so you know, that call that you had with Tehran, I actually piggybacked on that because right now, the people that I actually exposed that were working with, that I personally feel are in cahoots with Cindy and Swissindo, they're promoting Swissindo and they're promoting Cindy. They're actually trying to get people right now, and they've got a pretty big following. What they did was they have not appeared via face on any of their calls or videos. They're not posting the content through their own channels. They're going to other people's calls and such and spreading all of this nonsense about filing UCCs, filing all these Treasury Direct forms, filing all this paperwork to then make yourself a sovereign citizen. And I actually, I did an expose going into detail about your call with Tehran about how you are not a sovereign, that they're trying to make you a sovereign because a sovereign is considered a terrorist under this new administration. Well, not this new administration, but by the new guidelines for law enforcement.
Yeah, after 9/11, they really, and someone discussed this with me. I think it was AK, but he said that I think it was J. Edgar Hoover come up with a sovereign citizen title. Not really understanding all the reason behind that, but I think it had something to do with all the conspiracies going on at that time. When they killed Kennedy and Marilyn Monroe and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then the Vietnam War and Lyndon B. Johnson becoming president. There was a lot of that was government controlled killing, and they were trying to hide all that murder and coming up with all these sovereign citizen people trying to tell the truth. They were labeling them as sovereign citizens back then, but I'm not sure how all that ties together with now, but it's been going on for a long time, I guess, what I'm trying to get at.
Right. And this specific woman, this is her name is Ginger, and she's actually, like, I ended up that's the video I think that your cousin explained to you. Is I went and I did a little bit of research on her, and she's been in communication with Cindy, talking about now it's time for them to like 3 months ago. Now it's time for us to expose our plans on mainstream media, and such like that. And she's literally instigating people to use other numbers to private, non-governmental facility financial institutions and all kinds of crazy stuff, man. And I'm trying like my hardest to like scream to people.
Right, to stop people from doing that.
Right, exactly.
DK Courier is, I have personal experience with her, and she's bad news. She tries to cause trouble in a devious way, undermine people's relationships with other people. And I know from personal experience, if anybody has any contact or involvement with her, she brings trouble to their life.
Yeah.
In really bad ways.
Yeah, and the same individual even went as far as getting involved with a petition to bring Swissindo to Texas, and we all know Swissindo has a New World Order backing. It falls hand in hand with Cindy and her New World Order. Natural way handbook and all that. But yeah, that's so I'm glad that you brought that up though, because a lot of people are getting misled, and I just the UCC filings alone, nobody has to do that because it was done by Heather and you guys. And then
exactly, Heather's taking care of all that stuff. It's done. It is done. It's Heather has told me on countless occasions, there's nothing else that has to be done. It's done. And people were talking about they needed to get this Social Security card done or their birth certificate done, and Heather said, no, it's done. There's nothing else to do. It's done. People just need to understand the simplicity of it.
Right. Yeah, that's what I've
There's nothing else to do.
Yeah, and that's what I've been trying to get them to understand, because people aren't understanding that when you have individuals like this that are telling you that and this is what's being told to people, is that you need to file these Treasury Direct forms, which actually fall through the Bureau of Fiscal Service. So you're filling out forms that tie to a government agency, and they honestly have absolutely nothing to do with the accounts. We turned that stone back a month and a half ago. That's one of the first places that we looked, because I've been covering this almost from the beginning. So and they're being told that they need to rush. It's like a hard sell of a UCC filing and all this other paperwork. They're hard selling it and trying to instill urgency, and that's because they're selling this paperwork to trap people, and they're not understanding that. The reason why is in specific terms. I just want to give you an idea of what's going on out here. So they're telling people that because of that whole, Swiss Indo Syndicate Courier reset garbage, that if you don't file these forms by, December 31st, that the Legacy Treasury Direct will be closed and you won't get all of your money, which is a total crock of crap, because Treasury Direct has nothing to do with the accounts. They were just coined that as something that people would understand,
Yeah. It sounds like they're stealing people's signatures and energy.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get people to understand, is that's the most valuable thing that you have. That's the only real thing of value we have, is our signatures.
Yes, exactly.
So, yeah, it's
keep up the great work, Mike. It sounds like you're doing awesome.
I appreciate that. Now, as far as what was going on with you, I know I got detoured. I just you brought that up, and I wanted to fill you in on what's going on. So continuing with that, they were trying to force you to claim that you're a sovereign citizen so that they could label you and have a reason to detain you. It sounds.
Yeah. I felt like that once they got me to admit that I was a sovereign citizen, then they had me marked as a terrorist, and they could pretty much throw me in prison and lock the key, or throw the key away, because that's what I understood that to be, was it gives them authority to just pretty much get rid of you at that point once you become a terrorist.
Yeah, what's
interesting. Go ahead.
What's funny is with Heather, the terrorist task force is what picked up Heather. So I'm wondering if that's why they enacted that terrorist task force, was because of assuming that both of you were sovereign citizens.
That's part of the paperwork that they have on me. They're saying that this is a sovereign citizen movement. It's part of the sovereign citizen movement. This is terrorist activity. We all know that's a lie. That's a complete bull-faced lie. They're just trying to cover themselves from the truth being found out. Because once people discover what's really going on here, there's going to be a revolution.
Hey, Randy, continue telling what you need to tell for 1 second. I just have somebody at my door. I have to go see who that is. Just continue. You're good to keep talking.
It's so loud in here.
You're good to keep talking. Just continue telling your story for just give me 1 minute. I just got to run and see who that is at my door. But continue talking. You're good. It's going to keep getting out there.
Okay. I don't know much else to share right now other than the fact that Heather has told me countless times the paperwork is complete. The funds are available in their force and each person's account. And I think what happened, especially with me, is that it proved everything to be true. And that's why they're so adamant that they find the case to make it look bad, because they know that the truth's been uncovered in a big way. And that's the situation that we're looking at, is them trying to hide the truth under these half-lies, as I call them, and kind of community said at one point that a half-truth is the most dangerous lie there is, because it makes it look like it's the truth, when in actuality it's actually the truth's being covered up. I'm not sure what else to say at this point. There's just so much going on in this jail. It's hard to hear and understand. But I hope that we can get this information out to where people can understand that there's a lot more going on here than just about money. This is not about money. This is about uncovering. I think Heather told me at one point I had uncovered a large portion of the shadow government up and not and to include the secret space program, and that's why they're so pissed, because so much has been uncovered, and they're not happy. She said this is big government being uncovered in big ways. It's not just about the money. You there, Mike?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. I was just letting people know that this is not just about the money per se. This is about uncovering the shadow government in a big way.
Right.
That's what's really happened here. That's what they're pissed about.
Right.
But it also, like I said, it proves that these accounts exist because of what Heather and I were able to do. It proves, in a big way.
Yeah, I totally agree there, and another funny part about this whole thing is that still to this day, there has not been a single peep about you, Heather, or the accounts in mainstream media at all.
Wow.
There's not been a single, there's not a negative story, not a positive story, not a neutral story. There has been total media silence on everything. And you've got over...
I got a feeling that'll change at some point. I don't know. For years I've been watching, as we would call it, alternative media news outlets where, information was coming out about the arrest or and I don't know where we stand on that stuff, but I feel like we're really close to something like that happening. The big event, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah, and you know what? Another funny part about it is like with my channel here, for like the last month, we've picked a couple times a week. We've picked a mainstream media outlet and an alternative media outlet, and we're up to 14,000 subscribers right now on this channel, and we would pick those media outlets, and then we would call them, email them, bombard them, all as a collective effort to see what would happen and record it and then put it online.
You have 60 seconds.
Still,
I think it would be great if people would take this information. This is big news, people. This is not something to laugh at. This is big stuff, and maybe get it out to some people who can spread this far and wide and wake up some people to the truth.
Yeah, that's what this channel's mission has been, and that's what the community here. That's what they've been working on. We literally have we've been bombarding the mainstream, the alternative, and we pick one each day of each, and then we hammer them, and they still haven't made a peep. So
Wow.
Yeah, and
so they know what's going on. They just decided not to share anything about it.
Right, that's what I was getting at. Yeah, they know. They definitely know. We even hit Alex Jones with it, and he didn't cover it.
Oh wow.
Yep. Okay, guys, so I'm not sure if Randy's going to be calling back again tonight. We got about 30 minutes of conversation there, which is excellent. Randy had given the go-ahead for me to record. He said, I quote, he said, as soon as I heard that you were exposing Cindy Courier, I knew you were all right. So, anyway, so here's the deal with everything. As you guys heard, we have to be kind of careful as to what exactly certain topics that we talk about for Randall's own protection. Although he was giving quite a bit of really valuable information there. Now, one of the things that he gave me the go-ahead to talk about that I didn't want to talk about on the phone while he was being recorded from the jail is that the law enforcement agencies, they actually tried to claim that he changed his social security number. He changed a digit or added a digit, and that's what I was talking about in the live stream a couple days ago, urging you not to add 22 or 32 as Cindy K. Courier was telling people to do, or adding any extra digits or changing digits, or even using the QSIP number. That's partially why I don't think we should be doing the QSIP number as a account number. So he flat out said that he didn't change anything. He just put it in as his number normally would go. So for them to be saying in the paperwork, which Randy's family is having trouble getting, I'm going to try to track that paperwork down, the court paperwork. For them to be saying that he changed his social security number when he in fact didn't raises a lot of red flags and questions as to the legitimacy, as we've already known about him being held in jail. He used his account number as he was supposed to, so they basically trumped up and manufactured these charges. That way they could find a reason to hold him. As you heard him saying, they were looking for those reasons to be able to do something like that. So thank you to Randy for being so willing to talk about this, so we can help spread his story and get his information out. There's a lot of gems in that phone conversation there, and and the simple fact that Randy also had explained that you don't need to do any paperwork, that Heather already has it done. So there you go, to all those people pushing that paperwork shit again. But yeah, guys, we gotta get this information out about what's been going on with Randy. And the other side of it is, he's been evicted from his residence, even though his rent was paid up to date as it was supposed to be. They just up and evicted him. And then there's been several other things. We've been having trouble getting back in contact all throughout trying to do this via phone. He's been getting derailed on the court proceedings. They're not allowing his attorney to submit paperwork or access paperwork, just like what was going on with Heather. So yeah, the calls are gonna be continuing between Randy and myself. We still have to go into the specifics of how he's getting derailed court-wise. I wanted to get this out to you guys as soon as possible, though, so at a later date I'll end up compiling all of them together to make one larger video. But this is really good information, and we really need to spread this around and share it, because it really exposes just how much has been hidden, and just how much has been manipulated and twisted in the court aspect of this for Randy and Heather, and also with the movement as a whole. Now, as you guys also heard, one of the key points is that they're feeling that the what we're claiming to be FBI agents actually weren't. They were more Blackwater mercenaries there to beat the crap out of them, and because Blackwater then would not be held as liable as a law enforcement agency for basically doing this bullshit arrest. Best thing I'd say is if you guys could share this everywhere, and try sharing this with some of the other alternative media sites. Try sharing this with some of the mainstream media sites, and you know, I want everybody to understand that call was a call from Randall Beane, who is at this time an inmate at Blount County Correctional Facility. And he's being charged with wire fraud, and he's being charged with money laundering, when in all actuality there is no basis for them to charge him with anything, because as you guys know from what he just said, they were saying that they had nothing to hold him on, so could they just make something up to hold him for the time being? So very, very shady and sketchy information surrounding what happened to Mr. Beane, and I think that he's a targeted individual who was attacked for using his trust fund in the beginning, his hidden Social Security trust. So let's make sure that we're sharing this information, keeping Randy safe, exposing the lies, and exposing what's being done to him. And guys, remember, you know, Randy needs all the support that he can get, just like Heather does. So let's keep him in our hearts and our thoughts and in our prayers. And you know, whatever we can do to help him out, let's do that. Okay. Also, with that, I had spoken with Trish, and being that, as you guys know, there are ads that go on my videos, I made a determination that any proceeds that come from the ad revenue on any of the conversations with Randy, I'm going to end up taking that and then using that to donate those proceeds to Randy's phone, his phone fund and his commissary fund, and then for his legal fund or whatever. So I'm going to try to do my best to support him in any way I can and help him out. So yeah, guys, let's share this information. Let's get this out. If you like what we're doing, give us a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, do that now, as we're just getting started. Most importantly, share this information, get it out everywhere. Make this video go viral, because this is information that needs to be heard. And then leave us your thoughts in the comment section below. Much love, guys. God bless.